you see across the top are these green buttons that refer to different pieces of hardware and their current status. The color tells you everything's fine. So for example, I can click on either the green buttons or the tabs they correspond to on the bottom. Either way works just fine. So the first one, you see there's a drive icon and the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those correspond to the 4 hard drives in each one of those servers. They're all green, they're all looking fine. I can click on any of them, like this first server. Let's click on drive 3. It tells me the model drive, the make drive, what bus it's sitting on, its capacity, how many bytes have been written to and read from it. At a glance, I get data telling me the health and status of this drive. Steve told you it adheres to the smart monitoring service. So this drive can predict pre-failures before they happen and send the data to us via the server monitor here. And anywhere in the world, I can get predictive information if there's going to be a drive problem coming up. The second status indicator is power. It's tracking data in real time from the power supplies from all these servers. I can click on it. I can get information at a glance of how it's doing. I also get a graph by voltage of what's coming out of that power supply and how well it's going. You imagine your administrator starting to see brownouts here in California. You want to see what's been happening in the server power supply. You can go into here and see all the data in a glance. Next up are the Ethernet links. We track not only the 2 built-in ones, but any ones you add into the PCI slots. So you say each have a built-in gigabit interface. I can click on any one of those. It will tell me its Ethernet address. It'll tell me the status, up or down. The one was not running and hooked up to the network. The other one is. I can see it's auto-negotiated as a gigabit Ethernet full duplex interface. I see all that right here. And again, I can track data like how many packets per second in and out of it and see how it's been going, what kind of traffic I have on my server. So all of this at a glance. Next up are the fans. I have 2 fans in here. You see one's running right now at 4272 RPMs. The other one's running at 4090 RPMs. These are smart fans in the system. If one of the fans were to go down, the other one can pick up some of the load until the time when you can go and manage it. And these things are hot swappable. I can open up the drive, the unit, let's say a fan's gone down, in 20 seconds change out the fan without a single screw to replace, slide it back in without having turned it off. So if I get a warning, I can do something about it without bringing the service down to my customers. So very, very simple capability. Oh, the last icon is the lock. It tells me that the server is locked and there hasn't been an intrusion alert. There's a sensor inside the unit. If it were to be popped open, I'd see an intrusion alert. Someone's opened this up and get a notification in the software. Now all of this happens dynamically, and it is all real time. Just to make it fun, let me show you how hard it is to add another server to it. And add another server we have over in the piano bar. Let me log into it. And it will query the server, talk to it, and of course it's sorted by name, so it popped down to the bottom. Whoa, you see this one's blinking red. I've got a red status indicator, and I've also got a yellow warning happening on the units. Now I can look in this manner, but there's some flexibility here. I could say, I know what these icons mean. I just need basic, simple information. I don't need all the details. Or I could click and say, don't show me things that are okay, just show me things that have a warning. So I can set this up any way I want it to work. Let me bring back the full interface. So what are these things going on? Let's click on this red one. Now I can tell you the server's actually doing just fine, but we've manually affected it so that it would give us these warnings for the purpose of this demo. Surprise. So the red warning tells us that fan number 1 has stopped working. You can see it's not spinning at all. So we now know a fan's gone down. Well, guess what the yellow warning is? The yellow warning is it's getting warm there in the processor module because the fan's gone down. It's not critical yet, but I have time to do something before it does become critical. Now you're probably wondering, but how do I know? Do I have to sit here and stare at this all day long? No, you don't. I can take any one of these servers and do them all together or individually. I can set notifications. With notifications, I can set up who gets warned about what, via email or page. So I can set up hierarchies of people. I can say Doug is set up that if anything goes wrong with any one of these physical devices, he's at the lowest order of the priority list. He gets the first call. He's going to get the first page, the first email, and bug Doug. I can set myself up as a higher level on some or all of these elements and say if it hasn't been fixed after a certain period of time, now bug me because Doug hasn't woken up and gone in and fixed it. So I can set levels of hierarchy, multiple people. I can have somebody that gets warned just if the power supply goes, because that's our power guy. Or I can set someone to get everything. And I can do it by server or whole groups of servers. So built-in powerful notification features. So that's our new server monitor. If you're a macOS 10 administrator, you're using Xserve, out of the box, this is the easy-to-use tool that I think it makes it very powerful to manage everything and give you a tremendous amount of data. It shows the hardware-software integration we're able to deliver here at Apple, working with macOS 10 Server and Xserve. Okay. Now we've talked a little bit about the things people might do with all this great Unix underpinnings. Clearly, our customers will buy Xserves to use them as file servers and print servers. I think there's enough amazing technology there that you're going to start to see them show up as internet servers, web servers, and certainly as mail servers for whole enterprises. Now, the workgroup management is a growing area with all the client management you can do with macOS 10 and the features coming with NetBoot. The ability to even NetBoot servers means you can set up whole internet servers where they all boot off of each other. So you start to see that very popular. And one area that Apple's not known very much for, you're going to start to see us grow with a lot of exciting solutions that are database-driven, as well as web application-driven. We have some exciting information coming up later about that, but we're just going to see more and more solutions in that area. Now, media streaming we're certainly known for, and I can't tell you how many QuickTime streaming customers have asked us for the ability to rack mount the QuickTime streaming servers. I think that's really going to be a tremendous benefit to our customers. And last, in higher education and in our sci-tech customers, you're going to start to see computational clusters getting built, where I can run a number of applications across a range of servers as if they were one virtual machine. And this is really the future of servers. All the major server software companies are moving in this direction now, which is using affordable one-use servers wrapped in large arrays that dynamically run a computational solution. So again, let me show you a few examples of these kind of solutions that customers can get started with using the new Xserve. The first one is